It's now time for your monthly Bookworm Book Review with Philip. This month I read The ABC Murders by Agatha Christie. The way she is able to mislead the reader in her murder mysteries is astonishing. Ever since middle school, I've always loved Agatha Christie's murder mysteries. From And Then There Were None to Murder on the Orient Express. Man, they are to die for. This one, I feel, is of literary merit. Maybe not so much the other two. This one is a little more developed in its themes and storyline and plot. And although some might argue that murder mysteries aren't of literary merit, being that they're more simplistic. It's hard to develop complex plots and things, but this one I feel as though fits the bill. Sometimes, on monthly bookworm reviews, the books we choose we're not pleased with, but this one, very well pleased. Smooth read, not very frustrating. Maybe that's because I've already read similar books. Agatha Christie, her books always kind of tie in together. The characters have similar names. You got Hercule Poirot and Crust from The Train, and all the characters, they all have similarities. And I think now it's time for our monthly quote from the book to summarize everything up. I chose a quote from Hercule Poirot, and I've got it over here. It says, "We will talk. There is nothing so dangerous for anyone who has something to hide as conversation. Speech, so a wise old Frenchman said to me once, is an invention of man's to prevent him from thinking. It is also an infallible means of discovering that which he wishes to hide. A human being cannot resist the opportunity to reveal himself and express his personality which conversation gives him. Every time he will give himself away." I think that goes to show how some people, or all people, sometimes we regret things we say. We need to think before we act, and especially in the case of trying to avoid getting caught for murder. Keep your mouth shut. For everyone can always slip, and I feel like that is a memorable and lasting quote that should stick with me for a long time, being one that always talks a lot. Lastly, a theme I wanted to touch on in the book. I thought the most important one was jealousy of all things. Jealousy is very present in the family members of the victims right after they are killed. They're always, well, why did this happen to me? And, there's so many townspeople that this could happen to. Why us? Why are we affected by this? Instead of saying, well, let's go solve this problem. That way others are not harmed by this mystery man, later known to be figured out as Franklin. Hope you enjoyed your time here with Bookworm Book Reviews with Philip. We'll see you next.